All right, good morning, guys. Here's a video for the 8A Part 2 notes. I wanted to do these notes again because I think it's important to make sure that we know some of this factoring stuff, and plus I also wanted to show you one more thing that I kind of neglected to go over on 8A. All right, so first thing, if we're factoring a trinomial like this, x squared minus 25x plus 100. The coefficient of x is 1. Okay, we don't, it's just 1x squared there. So all we need to do is find two numbers and multiply to c. And add to b. Okay, so we need two numbers that multiply to c and add to b. You're more than welcome if you want to use this this factoring calculator right there and seeing if there's any number pairs right there. If you click on that thing and open it up, type your C value in there and see which number pairs underneath add to b. So here we have positive 100. And so the two numbers are going to be negative 20 and negative 5. Because negative 20 times negative 5 is positive 100. Negative 20 plus negative 5 is negative 25. Pretty standard stuff. We should know how to do that, and you could always use this calculator to check. Just plug your C value in, look at your list of number pairs that would match adding up to B. Okay. Next thing, if we're factoring a trinomial where A is not equal to 1, here's the 5 steps. Number 1 is find AC. Number 2, find the factors of AC that add to B. Split BX by the factors from step 2. Factor the two terms on the left and factor the two terms on the right. Okay, so here, step 1, finding AC, which is 6 times 10 is 60. So we're going to find the factors of AC that add to B, negative 19. All right, so we're going to find the factors of negative 19, or the factors of 60, excuse me, that add to negative 19. Well, they're going to be negative 15 and negative 4. Negative 15 and negative 4. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the negative 15 and negative 4 to split up the negative 19. So we're going to have 6x squared minus 15x minus 4x plus 10. Okay, so all we've done is take the negative 19x and split it into negative 15x minus 4x. We're going to factor out this side, so 6x squared minus 15x. What goes into 6x squared and 15x? Well, 3x goes into both. And then we're going to be left with 2x minus 5. All right, and then on the other side should be the same deal. So minusing here. So 4x plus 10, what goes into 4x and into 10? Well, 2. So we're going to minus 2 right there. And we're still going to be left with 2x minus 5. So our final parentheses, ladies and gentlemen, one of them is going to be 2x minus 5. And the other one's going to be 3x minus 2. Okay, 3x minus 2 coming from the outside there. There's a couple of them down there you could try if you need to. But again, I'm trying to make sure that we have all these rules in one place. Again, this is going to save us a lot of time and hassle moving forward. Okay. All right, difference of squares. If we have a squared minus b squared, this is really simple. It's going to be a plus b times a minus b. Okay, and that's it. That's really, really simple. If you're not sure a number is a perfect square, square root it and see if you can make it, see if it is a perfect square or not. Okay, so if we have, let's say we have x squared minus 36. All right. Well, x squared minus 36, if we're not sure, okay, we could square root 36, right? The square root of 36 is 6. So we can rewrite this thing here as x squared minus 6 squared. Okay? So a squared minus b squared, x squared minus 6 squared. So now we just have a plus b times a minus b, which is really x minus 6 and x plus 6. All right. If you want to go back to the trinomial way that I said earlier, we could also equal this thing to x squared plus 0x minus 36 and do the same thing that we did up on the first page, where it's like, okay, I'm going to find two numbers that multiply to negative 36 that add to 0, which is going to be negative 6 and positive 6, and they're going to go right in there, and so it's the same deal. All right, if we have a difference of cubes, so a cubed minus b cubed, what that's going to become is we're going to have one parenthesis of a minus b. Second parenthesis is going to be a squared minus ab, or excuse me, plus ab plus b squared. Again, if we're not sure the number is a cube, take the cube root. All right, if the cube root is a whole number, then we have a difference of cubes that we can do. All right, so here we have x cubed minus 27, okay? X cubed minus 27. So if we took 27 and took the cube root of it, which again, we could raise to the 1/3 power, or we can hit, the cube root here of 27, we see that's equal to 3. If you were to type that into your calculator. So if we have x squared minus 27, or x cubed minus 27, excuse me, you really have x cubed minus 3 cubed. All right, so meaning that our a and our b are x and 3. So if we have x cubed minus 3 cubed, one parenthesis is going to be x minus 3. Second parenthesis, a squared, so x squared plus ab, so plus 3x, plus b squared, b is 3, so plus 9. All right. And that would be the difference of these two cubes, x cubed minus 3 cubed. Okay? Just follow in this formula right here. And you may need to do some finagling a little bit to find out what your a and your b value are, but x cubed minus 3 cubed, so x is a, 3 is your b. And you just plug it into this thing right here. All right, sum of cubes. Okay, a cubed plus b cubed. This is pretty close to the other one. This is going to be a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Okay, now let's take a little finessing right here. So we have 8x cubed. Well, the cube root of 8 is 2. 64y cubed, cube root of 64 is 4. All right, so the cube root of 8 is 2, the cube root of 64 is 4. So when we have 8x cubed here, what this really is going to be 2 cubed x cubed. And the 64y cubed is really going to be 4 cubed y cubed. So what we're going to use is we're going to use 2x and 4y as our a and our b. Okay, so 2 cubed x cubed, so 2x is our a, so we're going to have 2x plus 4y in the first parenthesis here. Next, we're going to have a squared. So we're going to have 2 squared, which is 4x squared. So we have 4x squared minus ab. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then we're going to have x and y plus b squared. B is 4y. So we're going to have 4 squared and y squared, which is going to be plus 16 y squared. All right, so that's the formula for the sum of cubes if we have the sum of 2 cubed numbers right there. This is a little bit of a harder problem, but still we can cube root these numbers right there. And so we have 2 cubed, x cubed, and so a is 2x, b is 4y. And just plug them into that. All right, again, formula that makes life a lot easier for us here. Last thing I want to talk about is on this last page here, reducing some opposite terms. We touched on this a little bit in 8A. So in one of the example problems on the last page of 8A, I don't know why I put 4A there. One of the terms was 1 minus x, the other term was x minus 1. All right. If we have something that looks like this, ladies and gentlemen, we can simplify it. And here's how. Okay, so we have x minus 1 over 1 minus x. We can rewrite this as x minus 1 over negative x plus 1. All right, so we have x minus 1 on top, and then this thing, the 1 minus x, we could really write that as negative x plus 1. Furthermore, we could factor out from the negative x plus 1 and negative 1. And then we have x minus 1 there. Okay, so now we see up on top and on bottom we have x minus 1 and x minus 1. So they can go away. And we're just left with 1 over negative 1, which is, of course, negative 1. Okay, so long story short, on the last problem from the video of 8A, we had an x minus 1 and a 1 minus x, and they were over each other. I don't remember if it was like this or it was flipped. But whenever we have parentheses like that where we have x minus 1 and we have the opposite of 1 minus x, really that could cancel out and just become a negative 1. Okay, if you want to see another example, so let's say we have 4 minus x over x minus 4, or something like that. Okay, just as a quick example here. We can rewrite 4 minus x as negative x plus 4. It's the same thing. We're just moving the x in front of the 4. Okay, now we can factor out the negative from this. So we factor the negative out, the x minus 4 there. So we really factor out a negative 1, and those go away and we're left with negative 1.